Again, every time Nigeria is ringing bell. If I look on news, it is bell. If I look social media, it is problem. Eh? When I should be drinking coffee, they will make me to come online. They don't want to have me to rest. But you know what? You know what? The spirit in me, the Biafra spirit in me, I said, when I told you, if Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is looking for 100 people, I promise that I have 50 in me. You have not seen anything. It is not by my power. It is not by my power. It is not by my power. But, you know, as my own oru, I am a you understand? Till Biafra come. But today you are going to receive sense. The crypto, Nigeria crypto. As they are crippling your economy, they close border. They close the border. ESN came out automatically, you know, weaponized. It shocked them. It shocked them. They said, this border no work. Oh. This close of border no work. Oh. Now, how do we stop the funding now of this Sunday or Igbo? How do we stop the contribution? Let us stop the crypto. Because they were following Nigerians, southern Nigerians. Use crypto. We should open crypto. Use crypto. Don't use the Western Union. Don't use this. They say, so these people are doing crypto. Okay, let us slash them. Bah! They are not considering the economic impact of crypto. No. They are not considering how much the crypto is bringing to Nigeria economy. Their agenda is not to make Nigeria progress. No. They have a better agenda. Now you get the point. Now you get the point. My only problem is that why is it that you must wait? Was Thomas born in Nigeria? Is Thomas a Nigerian? Is Thomas in the Bible in Nigeria? Are you a lineage of Thomas? Are you a lineage of Thomas? All of you have Thomas blood in your vein. How did you get Thomas blood in your vein? That it must happen to you first before you understand. We hear more in Anubia. You hear more kind of woo. When we are telling you, you don't know no. We are telling you, even we are not prophets, but everything we have said, everything we open this mouth to say, if it don't happen today, it will happen tomorrow. I want you to go from the beginning of this struggle, from the beginning. In fact, even the one that we are not sure of, once God asks us to say it, we will say it and God will do it. Hey! I said, did you see the prayer? May God harden the heart of the leaders in Nigeria so that we will tell them, the world may know that Obi is no longer a boy. I remember when we used to read the history of the Greeks, the Greek gods. I don't know, you know, of course we don't read all those things in Africa. The history of the Greek gods. Medusas. Medusa, they say Medusa is she look at when you look at Medusa, you turn into she would dry you and you become stone. Medusa have snake, you know, her hair. Medusa's hair is snake. Because of the power in Medusa, when
this is my wicked word. This is my confusion word. Listen to Palibran. I will tell you a story about one lady girl. Pali they go to work. Pali they work for bank. Then I enter for motor. Wherever they go, opposite Udi, but the right hand the side, along the Sukudu Road. I see people run. Then I ask the driver waiting they happen. Driver tell the Pali boy, see no day for talk. If better you take your eye and see. Then I call the driver. Driver waiting. This is my wicked word. This is my confusion word. Listen to Palibran.
I want you people to understand that the liberation of Biafra has entered the highest stage in the history of Biafra. Not even during the war. I am telling you, it has entered the highest stage ever. And we are going to do everything humanly possible in this life to restore Biafra. Everything humanly possible will be done. And I want you people to understand that the Biafra liberation is step by step, segment by segment, plan by plan, executions by execution. We'll be executing those plans according to the template till the last one, and Biafra.
Let us go talk about the objective of your struggle and how do you intend to achieve it in practical terms?
In practical terms, it is civil disobedience. The same way that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. accomplished civil rights in America, the same way that Mahatma Gandhi led India to independence out of British colonial rule, the same principles we are applying, and might I add, very successfully too. We will do everything possible to unravel and unshackle the zoo called Nigeria. Everything humanly possible. No stone will be left unturned. We will sacrifice everything sacrificable. Material, life, blood will throw into.
And we will do everything humanly possible to see the Biafra exit.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for joining me on this very Sunday sermon. I welcome everyone that has connected to us wherever you are connecting from. I appreciate you and I welcome you immensely for joining us on this very Sunday. I wish you all a very happy Sunday. You know, Sunday is a special day for the Christians. So I wish happy Sunday to our Christian Biafrans. We know many Biafrans are Christians. Christians are in the highest number as Biafrans. We have huge number of Biafrans who are Christians. So I welcome every one of you and I appreciate every one of you. I wish you all a very happy Sunday. For those of us who have gone to the church and come back, I hope you prayed for Biafra. If you have gone to church today and you're back and you didn't pray for Biafra, well, I don't know why you are there. I know that some of us has gone to church already and come back. Some of us are still in the church. Some of us are getting ready to go to church because we are scattered across the world in various places with different time zones. So wherever you are, if you have gone to the church already and come back and you didn't pray for Biafra, well, I'm not sure you know what you went there to do. And if you are preparing to go to church, please make sure that prayer for Biafra is one of the important prayer points you present. And if you are already in the church and somehow you got our notification, do not forget to pray for us, the Biafran people, our soldiers, and our leaders. It is very important. This day is a very, very important day in the calendar of the Christians. A day that Christians generally agree that they will observe and keep holy for Chukwu Okike Abiama. Everybody have a special day, just as we know, according to the belief of those of us who are Christians, that Chukwu Okike Abiama did his creation for 6 days and the 7th day he rested. So we dedicate the 7th day to Chukwu Okike Abiama. Some will argue that Sunday is not the 7th day. Some say it's Saturday. Some say it doesn't really matter where it falls into. But the most important thing is that you should make sure you dedicate 1 day to Chukwu Okike Abiama in the 7 days of the week. Dedicate 1 day to Chukwu Okike Abiama. Christians generally have agreed and put their head together and they chose Sunday. Let it be for them. If you decide not to choose Sunday, you choose a different day to worship Chukwu Okike Abiama. It's also acceptable. Make sure you observe it. The most important thing is that you must reserve 1 day for Chukwu Okike Abiama. So I welcome everyone who has joined us on this very platform today. Thank you for joining us. And as you all know, we have no other message than the message of Biafra. So every Sunday after going to our various churches to listen to the messages and pray for the world and for our families and Biafra, we will never forget to come back home and still talk about Biafra, because Biafra is our first religion. We are first of all Biafrans before we became whatever they made us to be. We are first of all Biafra before we choose whatever we decide to be today. But we were born naturally as Biafrans. That is whom we are. Then on process of growing up, we can now decide to choose where we belong or the mode of our worship, our belief. That one depends on us. But in terms of our original existence, we are Biafrans. That is why I always tell people that my Biafranness is not at war with my being a Biafran. By being a Biafran. So my Christian Being a Christian does not stop me from being a Biafran. And if you are a genuine Biafran, if you are a genuine Biafran or a genuine Christian, you must, if you're a Biafran and you are a genuine Christian, you must know that one of your calling is to fight for freedom, because the person who laid the foundation for Christianity, as we all believe, fought for freedom from the very first day until he left this planet Earth. The mission of Christ was for freedom, to set mankind free. Everything that Christ himself did was about freedom. So if you claim to be a Christian and you say because of that you will not talk about your freedom, you are not going to support Biafra, it means your Christianity is nonsense. It is in vain. You don't know what you're doing. Because the foundation of Christianity is on freedom, setting humanity free. And without humanity being free, that assignment would not be completed. That was the only assignment that Christ came on this planet to set you and I free. So freedom should be fighting for freedom should be one of the things that we carry with our whole heart anywhere we go. So today, wherever you are and you're watching us, you must know that as a Biafran, it is your duty, it is your responsibility to speak up for those who are oppressed, to speak up for those who are being abused, and more especially to speak up for your own freedom wherever you are. And you make sure that whenever you are speaking and communicating genuinely. That genuineness of heart matters a lot, because there are so many people today that claim that they are fighting for Biafra, they are looking for Biafra, but when you sit back and look critically into their attitude, what they are doing and what they are saying and where they are coming from, you will understand that they have a different agenda from the one we know to be the agenda of the Biafran people. For example, the purpose of Biafra is not to kidnap anybody. The purpose of Biafra is not to blackmail anybody. The purpose of Biafra is not to push propaganda against anybody. The main purpose of Biafra is to make sure that the truth is not hidden, to reveal the truth, no matter how difficult it is, to make sure that the world hear the voice of the oppressed, to make sure that those who want to worship Chukwu Okike Abiama in truth and in spirit are given that opportunity to do so. So when you see people who are involved in kidnapping and they tell you they are fighting for Biafra, they are not. They are not part of us, and they will never be part of us. If you see somebody who say he's fighting for Biafra and all he does is blackmail and propaganda, that person is not with us. If you see somebody who claims to be fighting for Biafra, but he hates his brother so much, with so much hatred, that he doesn't see anything good in his or her brother, that person is not also fighting for Biafra. So we must be able to identify those who are in this journey genuinely. It is not enough to say all hail Biafra, all hail Biafra. It is not enough to clap your hand and call Mazen Nnamdi Kanu your supreme leader. It is not enough to call Mazen Simon Ekpa your prime minister. It is not enough to shout praises on the United States of Biafra. It is not enough to recognize Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. But you must know deep down in your heart what Biafra stands for, and respect and present Biafra to the world by your attitude and by your character. Very important. Today, the United States of Biafra is trying everything possible to sell Biafra to the world as the only remedy to the atrocities that is happening in the Zoological Republic. The United States of Biafra remains the only remedy. And that is why the United States of Biafra is doing everything to present Biafra to the world in pursuit of recognition. Likewise, you yourself, you have to try and do everything at your reach to present Biafra to the world. It's an assignment that is left for you and I. Thank you, that yesterday, the United States of Biafra successfully unveiled a radio that the whole world is going to listen to, a radio where Biafra will be presented and represented, a radio where the message of Biafra will be blasting 24/7. It is a very wonderful, important, and good move. All is targeted at selling Biafra. And every one of us have to continue to pray for that project so that it doesn't fail. It is a very important and wonderful project that we must support to succeed. So, in your prayers, in anything you are doing, continue to put that radio in prayer. The zoo has done a lot of evil against us through the media. They have been able to take over the media for a long time. They use the media against us. They have used the media against us that at a stage that we didn't know what to do or how to go about it. We lost our voice. Nobody was hearing us. And that was why we lost out in the Civil War. It is one of the things that contributed to the loss of the war. And the continuous atrocities of Nigeria against us also have been covered up with the media. Because the Biafrans were not paying attention to the media. We left the media to the Oduduwa people, our Yoruba brothers, and they continue to use it to their own advantage. In as much as I hate what they do, I do not approve to their attitude and the way they present their media, but they feel that what they are doing is to their own advantage. So because of how they have done and what they have done with the media, we have no other choice than for us to weigh in and begin to change the narratives. And that is what we are doing today. What we are doing today is to change the old narratives against the Biafra people. Those narratives that have been put in place out of hatred, out of envy, out of jealousy, they have pushed so many lies that people inside Nigeria and outside Nigeria tend to begin to believe, because we were silent for a very long time. But a time has come when the Biafrans have woken up and say enough, enough. You know, we the Biafran people, anything we decide to do, we are going to do it excellently well, better than those who started it. Whatever a Biafran chooses to do, he will do it and do it excellently well. There's no doubt about it. We are always the best in anything we venture into. Anything we lay our hand into to do, whether good or bad, we are the best in it. We do it to the best of our knowledge. And I thank you, that today the Biafrans are going into media. The Biafran people are going into media, both our government, individuals, private companies owned by Biafra, People have to launch themselves into media. We cannot continue in the way of the past. We really need to change the narratives. And I thank you, Kukukabiama, that Biafrans have started changing narrative. It's no longer like the time the Janjaweed will just go to their media and report everything they like, and the world will go along with it and believe them. For a very long time, they have been doing that. They write a script and they send to their media houses, and the media houses promote those scripts and say whatever they choose to say without anybody countering them. But we have gotten to a point where those things can no longer fly. And today, I am so happy that the Biafrans are taking the bull by the horn. The Biafrans are taking the bull by the horn. So wherever you are as a Biafran, you must make sure that you are part of this media. Because the media war is not going away very soon. The media war is not good. That is what they use against us. It is because of the media war. That is why people are not paying attention to what is happening to us. They are not paying attention to what is happening to us because we have kept silent for too long. And because we kept silent, that is why things have gotten worse than ever I can ever imagine. Things have gotten worse. But I tell you, for the fact that the Biafrans have decided to wake up to change the narrative, we will change it. And we're going to change it for good. I really appreciate every Biafrans who are bringing out their time to get into the media to respond to a series of blackmail and attacks against us each time the need arises. Biafrans are no longer keeping silent. Anytime there is any propaganda or blackmail against the Biafrans, once you go to the media, you see them responding expressly immediately. And they don't miss words. That is what is needed. That idea of saying that the Biafran people are business people, they are not care about government, they don't care. We have to walk away from that nonsense. That is also a blackmail they use against us. They use it to woo you, to drive your attention to what you're supposed to do. But we will not continue to allow that. We will not continue to allow that. More especially at this time that we have walked away from the zoo and we are creating a new country. In our new country, the United States of Biafra, media is very important. It is with media that we're going to create the image that we want and show to the world. The image of Biafra that we want to the world to see, it is we that will create that image. And we are going to use the media to do it. Some of us do not know how important media is. It is media that is going to present Biafra to the world. And when somebody is going to tell a story about Biafra or say what they know about Biafra, it all depends on what they see on media. More especially the international community and people across the world. The image you create about yourself is what people will see. The image you show to people is what they will see. If you relax yourself and keep yourself vulnerable and allow other people to continue to tell your story, you are doomed. Just like even after we have left the Zoological Republic, they are still going to be our neighbor. The zoo will still be our neighbor. And if we are silent on media, they will continue to push their lies. They will continue to push their unending lie. But I bet you, We will never give up on media. In fact, our media will be getting better and better every day. It is very important that we stand up and do what we have to do. Media has power. If you don't understand it, know that. That is why we must have been praying for this radio that was launched yesterday. In the past, we have had so many radios. We have the IPOB radio created by Mazen Nandekan, Radio Biafra created by Mazen Nandekan, and he did a marvelous work. It was Radio Biafra that did most of the evangelism. Until Mazen Nandekan was taken out of the picture and they bastardized the radio. You go there now, they are gossiping, they are only gossiping and talking about things that are irrelevant, and people are no longer paying attention like they do before. Mazi Simon also created a radio that all know he broadcasted, even a television that we all tested. And for one reason or the other, it could not function up to this moment. Now, the United States of Biafra have launched a radio. So all we got to be saying is that we pray that that radio stands the test of time. We pray that that radio is not distracted in any means. We pray that that project stands and nothing stops it, because it's a very, very, very important project. It cannot be overemphasized. Very important. A lot is happening, and we must not keep silent and pretend they're not happening. We have to take charge of our information, take charge of our own news, and tell the world what we want them to hear. That is how the world runs these days. You tell the world what you want them to hear. It's not going to be about anybody anymore. It's not going to be about a particular people trying to maneuver or trying to control. No. We have to do our things. It is about Biafra. And I have said this several times, again and again and again, that it is about Biafra. It is about Biafra. It is not about any human being. If it were to be about anybody, well, we would have stopped for a long time. It is very sad what we're hearing. Every one of us must be very careful. This quest for Biafra, we must be very careful in what we do and what we say. As I said before, we must always mind what we say, what we do, and how we do it. We must be very careful. This Biafra has to be about Biafra. Let us focus on respecting Biafra. Let us focus on working for Biafra. Let us focus on doing those things that we are supposed to do. The problem is not fighting for power, fighting for who is in front and who is not in front. We have to be very careful. I just saw an update that was posted, by the Deputy Prime Minister, Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, in the last 26 minutes ago. The update she posted. If this is true, it's a very bad thing that we don't want to be happening. We don't want it to continue to happen. This is a battle we have fought during the time of Mazen Nandekano kidnap. It is coming back again. We don't want that battle. The update that is delivered by the Deputy Prime Minister about 5 minutes ago, it says, it has come to the notice of the United States of Biafra government that one of our commander, Thunder, has been allegedly mutilated and thrown inside a pit by Commander 1, who is under General Butuzo in Olo State Command. This is to notify Commander 1 and General Butuzo that they will be held responsible for anything happens to Commander Thunder. You see, this issue of we fighting ourselves all the time is not acceptable. We don't want it to continue. What we are looking for is Biafra. It is not personal grudges. There's nothing personal. Stop taking the Biafran struggle personal or trying to impose yourself on people. You don't. You don't. This message was delivered, written by Dr. Ngozi Oraboeze, Deputy Prime Minister of the United States of Biafra, and the Defense Secretary, Solomon Ogbocha, that one of the commanders has been mutilated, taken out by another commander of Biafra. How long are we going to continue this infighting? How long are we going to continue to destroy ourselves while we allow the enemies to continue to run rampage everywhere? How long? How long are we going to continue to allow this war to continue to happen between us? We don't want this. Not now. Not now. This is not what the international communities want to hear from us. This is not what they want to recognize. This is not what they want to see. Why are we trying to make them believe that the propagandas people are pushing against us is true? Why are we trying to make them believe that the lies people are telling against us is true? Let this journey be about Biafra. I have said it several times. There is no law that says that every one of us must think in the same manner. It is not possible. Human beings are created in such a way that everybody has an independent mind. Everybody have an independent thought. That is how human being is created. In as much as possible, you try to marry your thought with someone else. You try to look at people who your thought and your idea are similar with them and work with them. But even in the midst of those who their ideas seem similar, it is not the same. There are still differences. You try to manage the differences. That is what happens. Every group try to manage their differences. Why do you have to take out your own brother simply because he does not agree with your thought? Why do you have to fight against your own brother simply because he did not buy your own idea? Why do you have to take the life of your brother simply because you disagree? There is no law that says people will not disagree. People disagree every now and again. Parents disagree with their children. Siblings disagree. Twins disagree within themselves. Why is it so difficult for us to treat our disagreement with respect to each other? For how long are we going to continue to mark time and fight ourselves instead of fighting our enemies? How long will we continue to fight ourselves instead of fighting our enemies? How long? How long? There are certain news that we're not supposed to be hearing at this point in time after the declaration, with what Mazen Nandekano is going through and what Mazen Simon Epa is going through. There are certain information we're not supposed to be hearing anymore. It does not matter how aggrieved you are. It doesn't matter what your brother says or your sister did. You have no reason to take the life of your brother or the life of your sister. Under no circumstance, you have no right to do so. We know there are saboteurs, and we know how to handle the saboteurs when the time comes. We know how to treat the saboteurs when the saboteurs come. And you don't just take somebody's life and claim that he or she is a saboteur because he doesn't follow your own line of thought. Somebody does not just become a saboteur simply because he chose to disagree with what you are saying at that point. That doesn't make him a saboteur. Before somebody will tag as a saboteur, you must know the level of sabotage. It will be very clear to the deaf, the blind, and the sick. Before you can tag somebody a saboteur, you must know. So today, some of those words have been abused in this struggle. That is why people use those words very commonly to satisfy their evil agenda. You see, the common word they use for everybody today, they say, oh, you are working for Nigerian government. They make it so common that it doesn't really have meaning anymore. That when somebody say it, you brush it over and go. Everybody that doesn't agree with you is working with Nigerian government. That was why somebody could boldly say that Mazi Simon Ekpa is working for the Nigerian government and continue to say it, even when Nigerian government today are the one who are looking for his head. They have gone ahead through in their international connections to take him out from our midst. And yet, some people are still holding swear that Mazi Simon Ekpa is working for Nigeria. You can imagine that. Somebody who Nigerian government are looking for day in, day out, who have given Nigerian government sleepless night. But yet, some people feel comfortable to come and tell you that Mazi Simon Ekpa is working for Nigerian government. Today again, very easy for people to open mind and say, oh, Dr. Muzo is working for Nigerian government. Oh, she's a Fulani woman. Without any single evidence of proof. That is the most disturbing. Without any single evidence of proof. The same way some of us who are broadcasters. 1 minute today you are a fellow Biafran, they praise you. The next minute they say you are working for Nigerian government. 1 minute you are a good man. The next time, oh, he's working for Nigerian government. Simply because the person decides to follow his or her heart. The angle that she feels or he feels that this is where I understand better. And the next thing they will carry out, oh, he's working for Nigerian government. Oh, they made the word so common that you can't even be able to take them serious anymore, because just like somebody now coming to tell me I work for Nigerian government, I will laugh over it. It doesn't even make me angry anymore. Or they call me a saboteur. It doesn't make me angry because I know people have abused that very word and it doesn't really have meaning anymore. Just like calling somebody a saboteur. People can just call this simply because of a little argument, disagreement you have with somebody. He will just term you a saboteur and he begin to push the propaganda. The next thing, he begin to cook in lies and blackmail against you. And many people have lost their life because of that. Many people have lost their life for that. When are we going to agree that there are many ways that is leading to one direction? There are many ways. And people are allowed to follow any direction they want to get to that direction. As long as that person is not standing on your way. As long as you're not hindering your brother. The road is so congested. So if people decide to take other means to get to that same direction, why are we worried? Why are you standing on there? Why are you fighting them? Why are you bent on destroying your own brother, your own sister? Simply because they chose to pass a different route. Why? Why is it that some of us do not have that spirit of tolerance? We cannot tolerate. We cannot accept a simple argument and say, what you are supposed to bring your superior argument. If you feel that what this person or this person do, let us allow ourselves to express ourselves and then argue logically. With logical argument, you will see somebody who comes with a superior thought and then we can follow. But one disturbing thing is that you will not even allow your brother the audience to explain to you why he or she is doing what she's doing. So many of us they won't even give you the audience to explain. They won't even give you the audience or give you the audience to understand the area you are coming from. They feel they know it all. Anybody that raises hand to talk, they will push you down. Some of them, because they have attained a certain position. Because you get to a certain position, you now don't want anybody to cross to that direction. You destroy everything on your way, including people you see that has important information, but because you see them as a threat, you feel that when that person now becomes visible, you now become invisible. That people no longer see you. People who are hailing you will no longer hail you anymore. And now you challenge your energy to your own brother. You channel your energy to your own sister. Is that the right way to go? Is that the right way to go? It is not the right way to go. We, the Biafran, have an important assignment that is bothering us on our shoulder. That every single one of us agree that we have to go for freedom. Why are you allowing irrelevant things to distract you? This act of taking the life of your brother or your sister simply because you disagree, is that the way to go? We should have learned our lesson by now. This commander they are talking about him now is that Commander Thunder who lost his life in the hands of his fellow Biafran Liberation Army. These people that are them are mentioned, they are all members of Liberation Army. Every one of them is to liberate Biafra. Liberate Biafra. You are fighting for Biafra. So what is the problem? What is the problem? Why is it difficult? What is the problem? We need to build a strong army to fight, not to take out our strong men. This is the problem we have been facing. We face this problem after the kidnapping of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Nigerian government entered and planted their evil seed. The politician entered and pumped money into the liberation. That is one of the greatest damage they did to us. This is why some of us was crying when they kidnapped Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. This is why some of us lost hope. Some of us were shouting. This is why we are demanding the unconditional release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu immediately, because we know what is going to happen. Because when the shepherd is not there, when the shepherd is not there, the sheep is bound to scatter. Even if not all of them, some of them are bound to run away. And before you recover them, you must have lost some. Everything that is happening today, the root of the atrocities you are seeing today, the disagreement you are seeing today, is the absence of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. After he has been able to build a very strong force with trust and commitment, after he has built a very strong force with trust and commitment, the enemy crept in. And when the enemy crept in, he crept in at a very wrong time. This evil we are fighting, they are very calculative. Do you know that these people knew very well? They knew very well that Mazen Samuel Ekpa is coming to step into the second command. They knew. And Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is elevating Mazen Samuel Ekpa to the second command. And they couldn't take it. They couldn't allow it to happen because they know that if such announcement come, there will be a successful handover. If anything happens, the process will continue without a distraction. And that was why they took Mazen Nnamdi Kanu away, because before that ceremonial official introduction of our Prime Minister Mazen Samuel, they didn't allow that opportunity. And that created the gap. That created room for the enemies to penetrate and preach their evil propaganda, plant their evil seed. That even a lawyer that is supposed to be defending Biafra began to poke his nose into the affairs of Biafra people. Even the lawyer began to be interested in the power to control the Biafran struggle. A lawyer that was supposed to be speaking the voice of the Biafrans at the court began to poke his nose into the administration of the Biafra people. that when he heard that Master Simon Ekpa was to take a charge, he said over his dead body, and he went ahead to instigate people, instigate every single person in the key position of IPOB then. They were all instigated against Master Simon Ekpa. And you know, power intoxication, because of what they are told, and some of them are in the corridor of power. They know the influence that IPOB enjoys. And because of that, they don't want to allow someone else. They begin to imagine, how can this man that came yesterday, how can this one be, how can this one? And that envy and jealousy was planted to them, and they began to fight against something they were supposed to protect. Just as we are seeing today, if the DOS had some common sense and they sincerely would be, they would have been the one to protect Master Simon Ekpa by all means. They would have been the one to say, immediately Master Nnamdi Kanu announced, allow him to broadcast. They would have been the one to guide him, and protect him, and make sure that nothing happened. And I bet you the number of men we lost in the after of Master Nnamdi, we would have not lost them. And Master Nnamdi Kanu would have been out by now. Would have been out by now. Master Nnamdi Kanu would have been out by now. If they come down and work with our Prime Minister, Master Simon Ekpa Njoko, if the DOS had come out to work with Master Simon Ekpa Njoko, the case would have been very, very different. It would have been a different ball game. What you are seeing today, you will not see it. You will never see it. You will never see it. Wherever you are as a Biafran, I urge you in the name of Chukwuka Kabiama, do not lose your focus. Continue to focus on the restoration of Biafra. Biafra is for you and I. It is for all of us. It is for, let us develop that spirit of tolerance. Everybody has a contribution to make, no matter how little, how small. When you disagree with your brother or your sister, don't say because of a little disagreement that person is now a saboteur. The disagreement does not make him or her a saboteur. It is just a disagreement. We know there are people who are sabotaging the Biafran struggle, but let us not use this saboteur. Let us not abuse that word so much. Just like say, this one is working for Nigerian government. It is so easy for us to pronounce, even for little arguments. Some people, even on a platform, maybe because you say something in a platform and the person say, no, not this way. If it's not this way, before you know it, they will just tag you a saboteur, that you are sabotaging. Where are you sabotaging for? I don't know. And the same thing today is what is causing the people that are facing the most dangerous aspect are those men on the ground. The men on the ground, those who are in the armed struggle on the ground. When they buy this idea of this is what I said, if you're not with me, you're a saboteur. If you're not with me, they now channel their energy on destroying their own brothers around them instead of focusing on the enemy. They began to buy this idea. If you are not working under me, you are not working for Biafra, you're working for the Nigerian government, you must be under me. It is much more dangerous among those of them on the ground. I don't know how we are going to preach this message to make the men on the ground to understand that they are fighting for one cause. As long as your brother is not after your life, he is not after you, whichever area or territory you control, make sure you defend our people, stop the Janjaweed from coming in there, stop the terrorists from taking over, stop the terrorists both in uniform and off uniform. It is your duty. Your duty is not against your brother. Even if your brother is not working under your umbrella, as long as he's not standing in your way to do your job. Why would you go after him? Why would you go after your brother? I don't want to be seeing that. It is painful. We are losing a lot of men in the hand of Nigeria, in the hand of the politicians. Why are we going to join them now to add to the number of people they are destroying our land? Simply because you don't agree with your brother. Can we try as much as possible to reduce these casualties? Can we try as much as possible to reduce this collateral damage? That is why we are telling them, men on the ground should come down and try to be on one page with the United States of Biafra government. Your loyalty should be to the United States of Biafra. It is not a loyalty to Dr. Ngozi Arabueze. It is not. It is not. If you are loyal to Biafra, your mission should be to protect the life of the Biafran people, male, female, whether armed or unarmed. Once you see your brother, that's just like when we have the Mossop. You cannot see your brother simply because your brother is pursuing Biafra under Mossop. You tag him a one Nigerianist. You tag him a saboteur. You tag him a Nigerian informant. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. In other countries of the world, we have seen how they fought their own, though they have their misunderstandings among them. But we that are watching from distance, studying what happened during their own time now, finally understand that after they got that their freedom, even though while they were in the midst of that very pursuit of their freedom, they misunderstood each other and they thought they were enemies. All this is supposed to be a lesson for us. So many people that have fought for their own independence during the time while they were busy fighting, they called names to each other. They fought each other. Some lost their lives. But at the end of the day, when that freedom finally came, every one of them came back together and united and spoke on the same voice. Now realizing that this is what they were fighting for, and they lay down their arms. When we look at what transpired in other places, that should be a lesson for us. Than that anybody that is speaking up for the same thing you are speaking for, it doesn't matter the language the person is using to speak it, or the direction or the angle. So long the person is genuinely going towards the same direction to get the same thing you are looking for, and it is for one purpose. Why should you take the person's life or get envious or get too angry about that? Why? 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 That update, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to see that update. It is scary because we have gone through that part before. We have gone through that part. And before you know it now, you will see the other camp will begin to say they're going to go for vengeance. That is how it escalates. When you take the life of your brother, those who now love him also, who believe that he was doing the right thing now, will also be targeting you. They are now seeing each other as an enemy. Even though you are going for the same cause, you will not develop enmity that you can no longer be able to function as a place. Now you spend the time you will use to go against the Fulanis and the government of Nigeria, and you're using it against your brother. It doesn't sound well. This update is very, very disturbing. The only people that will see this update and they will not be disturbed are people who did not know what transpired when Mazen Nandekano was kidnapped. All this while, I have been thanking Chukwu Okike that we do not have those kind of chaos in this time that Mazen Samarepa left. I have been thanking Chukwu Okike and say we did not have the kind of chaos we have during the time of Mazen Nandekano kidnapped. But look at the information that the Deputy Prime Minister have dropped now, some few minutes ago. If this is true, it is not a good news, and whoever is involved should retreat. Retreat. The name of Commander Butuzo is mentioned on that. Commander Uwam was mentioned. Commander Uwam and Commander Butuzo were mentioned. If we lose Commander Thunder in the hand of his own fellow commanders, as it has happened before, it is not a good thing. We need to learn our lesson. We need to learn our lesson. We have lost many, many strong men. And I don't know why they have to trade this part again. This is a part they have gone through before, and they knew the number of men they were lost. Butuzo was aware of the battle that went on after the absence of Mazen Nanikan because of this kind of a similar thing. Because of this kind of a similar thing. Simply because people were relating to Mazi Simon Eba. They were taken out. This same Butuzo and other generals, they understand the threat they faced when they joined Mazi Simon Eba. They knew what they passed through to survive up to today. They know many people that lost their life simply because they chose to follow a different direction, to pursue Biafra. It is not to stop Biafra, but to pursue Biafra. Why is it difficult for us to accommodate each other in our different ideas, in our different knowledge, in our different wisdom? When are we going to start accommodating each other? Is it not too? It is more than overdue. We have faced so many trials. A lot is expected of us. The world is watching. You can imagine how many people must have seen that post and how they are going to feel. You can imagine how many Biafrans have seen that post that was made by the Deputy Prime Minister and how they are going to feel. This is heartbreaking. It is heartbreaking, and we must try to avoid this happening. It is not a good news. We are supposed to be talking about good news on how to push the struggle forward, on how to elevate the heart of the Biafran people, on how to make sure that things are happening. My fellow Biafrans, wherever you are, every one of us have to learn that each and every of us have an independent mind. That is how Chukwu Okikara created us. The only thing we are trying to do is to find a meeting ground to function with each other. But do not ever expect that somebody will have the exact mindset that you have. No. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't that way. And we should be able to allow people to express themselves. Give people listening ear to understand where they are coming from. We have a lot of problem in our hand. Our enemies, the Nigerian government, they are not giving up. The problem that is coming from Nigerian government is so much that we are not supposed to have time. We are not supposed to have time to begin to think about anything else except the zoological republic called Nigeria problem. Today, they are intensifying in their blackmail and propaganda. While we are trying in media to manage the propaganda and make sure that it doesn't affect us, some people are still creating room for more propagandas, which is not nice. Which is not nice. While we are trying as much as we can to make sure we manage these propagandas so that it's not blown out of proportion, to make sure that we destroy these propagandas against us, some of us are still giving room for our enemies to have something to say. Before you know it now, they will carry the message and they're going to say, oh, Biafrans killing Biafrans. That is where it will going to end. The next thing you will hear, the governors will take it up. Oh, it is we that are causing the problem. The other ones will come and say, oh, Biafrans killing Biafrans. Why we are fighting so hard to stop this propaganda and blackmail against us, some of us are still creating opportunity for the enemies to have something to say about us. It is not interesting. It is not impressive at all. It is not. Every one of us should begin to rethink and change their mindset. We have to rethink and change our mindset. Let us get ourselves out from this dungeon first. After then, we can begin to walk in our madness. After then, we can engage in any battle that whoever wants to fight, fight. Please and please. All these things that is happening, that we're seeing today, is the handwork of the enemies. And if we must win this war against the enemies, we have to change the way we operate and the way we do things. We really, really have to change the way we do things. We must have to give everybody a listening ear. And we must stop seeing our brothers as the enemy. We must stop seeing ourselves as the enemies. Because the more we continue to see ourselves and our brothers and sisters as the enemy, the more damage we cause, the more problem we create. So the best thing for you and I today is to make sure we function in such a way that everybody is going to benefit. Function in such a way that we accommodate each other. We should not allow the will of the enemy to continue to be promoted in our midst. We should not allow the enemy to continue to succeed. You can imagine why we are still here fighting for the blackmail against Gentle. We are here talking about the blackmail against Gentle. Meanwhile, someone is out there again fighting against his brother. Someone is there already planning to take away the life of his brother. It is not a good thing. It is not. No matter the offense he has committed, no matter the disagreement you have with him, it is not a reason to take anybody's life. There is no reason that will be genuine enough for you to take the life of a fellow Biafran. No reason whatsoever will be genuine enough. Whatever you're going to present will always be unacceptable to the Biafran people. And I urge every one of us to please
that the Muslim
pay attention.
extremist dictatorship masquerading as a secular.
The enemies of Biafra are everywhere, and we should focus on defeating that enemy. That should be our concern. How to defeat that enemy should be the major concern. The terrorist government of Nigeria is there, working day in, day out to see how they can eliminate us. We are not bothered about that, and we are busy talking about ourselves. We are busy fighting ourselves. We are busy destroying what we are supposed to build. This is really, really heartbreaking. Really, really heartbreaking. I never wish to see this day again. I never wish to see this day, a day where the Liberation Army will be going after themselves. I never wish to see it. I don't wish to see a day that Liberation armies will rise against themselves and continue to fight themselves. I don't wish to see that. That is why every time I am calling for order, let there be unity. Let the Liberation Army stand with the United States of Biafra government. This is why, this is the danger of unnecessary calling of names, propaganda, and blackmail. The origin of this thing you are seeing today is nothing but the one that called himself Isaiah Nyog. If Isaiah Nyog has not pulled out, what is happening today will not happen. We would have gone far, far, far above where we are today. We would have gone far, far. But Isaiah Nyog came out of envy, out of greed. You want to lead even when you know you cannot lead. You know you want to lead even when you know you cannot lead. You want to force yourself on people. Look at the result today. The ones who supported him simply because of hatred they have, grievances they have with the person that was chosen. That is why I always tell people, don't support evil because that evil is against your enemy. Do not. When there is evil, call it evil. When there is a lie, say this one a lie, you begin to shout. Draw your two ears and begin to shout. Don't support a lie or evil because it is against your enemy. No, don't. A lie is always a lie. The truth is always the truth. Because once you encourage lie, because the lie is told against somebody you don't like, wait for it. It is coming for you. When you see something, you know that this thing is a lie, big lie, you know it is a lie. And simply because of selfish interest or because of personal hatred, you support that lie. My brother, my sister, it is going to come to haunt you badly. You can't escape it. You can never. You can never escape it. You can never escape it. We have a bigger issue. We have a bigger issue. Let us channel our energy against the real enemy out there. The earlier we do that, the better for all of us. The earlier we channel our energy to the real enemy out there, the better for all of us. Forget about all this blackmail and propaganda and lies. It is not going to help anybody. It's not going to help Mr. A, neither will he help Mr. B. It's not going to make you look important. It's not going to make you look relevant. Instead, it is going to make you look stupid before the whole world. These informations are most important because of the time that we are in. At this time, we need to be cautious of what we say, what we do, and how we do them. Very, very important. The janjaweed is still there, working day in, day out. And you are distracting our attention. The time we used to advise you and talk, this is a time we used to expose the enemies, the real enemies. The Nigerian terrorists, they are running rampage everywhere. Today, as we speak, there is trouble in Abuja. Some people are fighting against each other in Abuja. There's crisis in Abuja as we speak today. One person down already. They call this a land grabbing problem to them. A country that have a lot. Nigeria is a failed state. Nothing can be managed. Every little crisis, people's life is gone. Every little crisis, people's life is gone. And it is crisis everywhere. Kidnappers are running rampage, right, left, and center. Insecurity, there is no way to manage it, nothing. That should be our concern. How to secure our own zone, not how to make our own side insecure, not how to make our brother the problem, not how to make our own sister the target. We should know how to select our enemies and select them because they call themselves enemies, not because we chose to make them enemies. They made themselves who they are. My beloved brothers and sisters, wherever you are, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Kabiamo never to give up. No matter how difficult the task is, we will continue to fight this battle until we get to the end. And by the special grace of Chukwu Kabiamo, we shall overcome. We will surely overcome. And before we come to the end of the program today, I will like to play the message of our Supreme Damazin Nandekan. As always, you know, I enjoy his message and I always like to feature him in any program I hold. I will always feature Mazen Nandekan. As a reminder, it will remind us of one thing or the other so that we don't lose it. Let us listen to this message of our Supreme Leader Mazen Nandekan.
It must be demolished for you to survive. They have to be demolished. If you do not demolish them, your lives will end very, very miserably. I assure you. I assure you. The zoo is on its knees. Everybody knows that the zoo called Nigeria is on its knees. Who doesn't know that? Everybody knows. Nothing is functioning. You are all aware of it. When they say go and register for name or whatever rubbish is called, all of you took that without legislation, without any laws. They can control you however they like. Once they announce it, Yoruba newspapers very foolishly and stupidly will support them because they want you to go as the president. And you are all dying every day. You are all dying every day. And you people reason up to say that what is happening in Nigeria is bad. There is no way that Pastor Rector's daughter will not be alive today. That is the price you pay for duplicity. That is the price you pay for preaching. That is the price you will continue to pay until you rise up and say, enough is enough. Known to the whole world that the Muslim extremist dictatorship masquerading as a secular democratic government must be demolished. It must be demolished for you to survive. They have to be demolished. If you do not demolish them, your lives will end very, very miserably. I assure you. I assure you. The zoo is on its knees. Everybody knows that the zoo called Nigeria is on its knees. Who doesn't know that? Everybody knows. Nothing is functioning. You are all aware of it. When they say go and register for name or whatever rubbish is called, all of you took that without legislation, without any laws. They can control you however they like. Once they announce it, Yoruba newspapers very foolishly and stupidly will support them because they want you to go as the president. And you are all dying every day. You are all dying every day. And you people reason up to say that what is happening in Nigeria is bad. There is no way that Pastor Rector's daughter will not be alive today. That is the price you pay for duplicity. That is the price you pay for preaching. That is the price you will continue to pay until you rise up and say, enough is enough. It is up to you to do it. You did it during NSAS. You can do it again. Can you imagine Fulani people telling you, if you remove Fulanis from Yoruba forest, imagine Fulani telling you, if you remove them from your ancestral lands, there will be war, and you are panicking. And you have not asked yourself, why are they not saying something about the East? But when you see it very clearly, I was warning you in 2014, 2015, 2016. They said he's a warmonger. He's a warmonger. I went to America and I told World War Congress that this war you are avoiding is going to come to your village. They said, no, it's not going to happen. What is happening today? When Yoruba was supporting this deadly idiot called Buhari, did I not want them that this evil you're supporting will consume you? They never listened. They never wanted to listen. IPOB is the terrorist group. You're trying to divide Nigeria. But yet it's not. People that you are calling bandits, have you heard anybody come out to say, please, Buhari, since presidency is there defending terrorists in the forest, why don't you proscribe them? No, you cannot proscribe Fulani group. Never. And all of you are supporting evil. When there is a proscribed IPOB, proscribed the religious people of Biafra. These are Yoruba journalists writing talk. Every day they write about you. But their land is under siege. Their land is under siege. And the Fulani will take it during the time. So I am here today to encourage them that they must stand tall and be very strong. Raise it. That is what Fulani does. They control the media. They have well-paid consultants all over the world doing their bidding for them. They have that woman at UN trying to lobby the world that everything is okay. The zoo called Nigeria. But you and I know that the zoo is not okay. You and I know the game plan of the Fulani. And what are you doing about it? Nothing. Every day you read, you lament, you complain. Every day you read, you lament. And that's all you do. That is all you do. You read, you lament, you complain. You do nothing about it. Your lives are being taken away from you. Your forests are being occupied. Your mothers are being raped. Your daughters are being abducted. And the whole national government, presidency, is supporting supporting such people. And you're telling me that Nigeria is viably sustainable. Is that what you're telling me? That somehow this contraction is sustainable, is viable. It can never be. Because the more you stay in one Nigeria, the more you are inviting the Fulanis to take over your ancestral lands, to take over your villages, and to make life a misery for you. That is the end game. That is the outcome. If you doubt me, go and do a bit of research. Ask yourself, who are the Hausa people? Who are the Nupe people? Who are the Bachama people? All of these people were still rolled by the Fulani man to the Atlantic Ocean. And now they're Yoruba. They're in the forest. They are in their forest.
The call for us to rise up is overdue. Mazen Nandekano was so lenient, he was so friendly and loving that he didn't only focus on Biafrans, he was also calling the Oduduwa people to rise up. And today, every single prophecy or things he has said has just come to happen. You can't even call it a prophecy. These are things he just looked at and he walked towards it and saw it that is bound to happen, and it happened. Just like as you and I is watching Nigeria today. It is very easy to predict what will happen to Nigeria. Very easy. Look at Peter Obi parading himself. When we told him, they will not take you, he didn't believe it. Today, he has started again. He has started again. We are telling him they won't take you. And even if they take you, your government will be worse. Your government will be worse than that of Tinubu. They will make sure that they ridicule you. They don't understand it. This is a government that ridiculed Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu. The most popular man in Nigeria, Dim Odumegwu Ojukwu, he could not win election in his own village. He could not win election. And we are telling you that people do not win election in Nigeria because they are popular. People don't win election. You win election in Nigeria because you belong to the criminal gang that is running Nigeria. You win election for Nigeria because you are loyal to the caliphate. Once you belong to that criminal gang, they own the INEC. INEC will announce whoever they want to be there, and the person will be there. You can't do anything. If you talk, they tell you go to court. You will end there. You saw how they gave Imo State somebody that did not contest for election, a man that did not contest, who didn't contest election, and they threw him and forced him on Imo State people. He did not contest the election. You can imagine somebody they say his name is fourth. What is a fourth position doing in election? What is a fourth position in election? People that participate in election is the first, second, and third. They took Hope Uzodinma and put him in the position of fourth, and yet they took the governorship and gave to him in Nigeria. And yet somebody saying that somehow you can come and the most funniest thing is the one that what did they call him? What did they call him? Peter Obi or whatever. The most funniest one is the one he said that he wants only one tenor. That only one tenor is what he wants. With that one tenor, he can make Nigeria a paradise. You can imagine. Is that not a word of a drunkard? Is that not the word of a drunkard? Peter Obi said he wants only one tenor. That is only one tenor. What can you do with 4 years in Nigeria? For you to be able to get into Asorok alone will take you for you to get into Asorok and be stable will take you 2 years. Then for you to focus on those who pushed you that place, you stay under 2 years. What is he going to do? What is he going to do? You can imagine. That's to show you how desperate they are. And it is about them themselves. That somebody will come and say, give me one tenor. You don't say that in a civilized country where there is rule of law. In a civilized country where there's rule of law, there is a way of doing things. Every president is entitled to 2 tenor. You don't come and campaign and say, give you 1 tenor. That is absolute nonsense. It's a deceit. Whenever you begin to campaign to that direction, it is showing how desperate you are. And when you get up with that, you can't offer anything. You're only exposing your desperation. You're only telling people that you cannot offer anything when you get there. And some people are still sitting back and listening to him. May Chukwu Okike have mercy on all of them. My fellow Biafrans, I appreciate every one of you. I know it's Sunday. Many of us are supposed to be having our rest, but you choose to spend your time with me. I thank you so much for being here with me. Those of you that have spent their Sunday holiday with me, may Chukwu Okike bless you abundantly. Those who are in church, pray for us. Those who are going to come back, I hope you pray for us. And those who are yet to go, may Chukwu Okike guide and protect every one of us, lead us home when we are going home, and keep us safe in our various homes. Those in Biafra land, no evil shall befall you. No accidental discharge will get hold of you. No kidnappers will meet you. Chukwu Okike protect you. I pray for the Liberation Army of Biafra, every single one of them, for divine protection. And I pray that Chukwu Okike will touch their heart. Every member of Liberation Army, I pray that Chukwu Okike will touch their heart to begin to reason differently, to stop seeing their own brother as a threat, to stop seeing their brother as an enemy, to stop having that thought of taking their life for their brother. I pray that Chukwu Okike will arrest their mind and divert them to the right source and the right mission, which is defense of Biafra land. That is all we want them to do, nothing else. I appreciate everyone that joined us, and we present the Deputy Prime Minister before Chukwu Okike for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, and directions. I pray for Mazi Simon Ekpa for divine guidance and protection. Pray for Mazi Simon Ekpa that any evil before him will never get hold of him. Whatever plan the enemies are making, whatever pit they dig for him, they will fall into it. We pray for divine protection for Mazi Simon Ekpa. We pray for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for divine protection. Pray for divine revelation. We pray for good health. We pray for healing for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And we pray that every one of us will meet in Biafra very, very soon. Thank you so much for being part of this program. I appreciate everyone that have joined us on this program. See you again tomorrow morning. Don't miss tomorrow morning program. Please click your notification now. If you are not clicking it, touch your notification. Don't miss tomorrow's morning program. It is going to be outstanding. Thank you so much, and see you tomorrow. Remember this. Happy Sunday. Enjoy your Sunday.
This is my wicked word. This is my Confucian word. Listen to Palibran. I will tell you a story about one lady girl. Pali they go to work. Pali they work for bank. Then I enter for motor. The river they go. The river they go. Opposite Udi. But the rocky hand the side. Along Gusukudu Road. I see people run. I see people run. Then I ask the driver. The driver waiting they happen. The driver waiting they happen. The driver tell the body boy. See no day for talk. See no day for talk. It better you take your eye and see. Then I call the driver. The driver waiting. The driver waiting.